G'day guys, what is going on? It's review time. It is time for the Imperial Navy Commander from the Vintage Collection. This is from the third wave of 2012, which is wave 12, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely a cool figure. It's one you must pick up because I'll explain that later. But first, before I go on with the figure, here is the card back. Yeah, let me just focus. There we go. Let me just focus again. We got the Imperial Navy Commander, and there he is there from his scene in A New Hope. Focus. Thank you. That's not the most exciting image. He looks like he's asleep, but oh well, he's obviously focused on what he's doing down below on his keypad or whatever. I don't know. He kind of looks like he's asleep. There's the back. So after this, the only one I'll have to review is Darth Malgus, and he's the only one I have to get. Otherwise, the rest of the four have been reviewed, or the other three have been reviewed. So you can go back and have a look if you haven't seen them yet. Now on to the Figurino. Now this is a reasonably cool upgrade from one we've seen before. There we go. Now there is an Imperial Navy Commander, which is also known as Death Star Trooper. He is still floating around on the pegs from Saga Legends from early last year. He's still hanging around, but this is definitely an upgrade. And if you see it, pick it up, because he is not scheduled for a re-release in any as a revision figure in any of the future cases. So this is pretty much a one chance to get him, as far as we know. They may re-release him in the future, but he's a lot like the AT-AT Commander from Wave 1 from 2010. So in the point that we won't see him again. So Hasbro haven't announced whether they will be re-releasing him or not. So grab him while you can, just to save that disappointment. And he's quite hard to find on eBay already, so I'm quite happy to get him. He does have a removable helmet, which is exactly the same as the one we've seen before. And he has quite a cool head sculpt. Bit of a blondie, but you gotta get a little bit more light there. I'm going to zoom up just a little bit more for you on that head sculpt. It's reasonably well done. Well, it is well done. Detail on the hair is really cool. Like I said, definitely one to get if you're the kind of if you're a completist, or you're into your Imperial ranks. I know there's a lot of guys out here that are really into their Imperial guys, so I'm starting to get quite an affinity for the Imperials, so I definitely had to pick this guy up. And if I see another one, I will get him to keep carded, knowing that he will be difficult to find later, and I can use that to give to someone who's struggling to find one. So alright, zoom out again, just so you can get a better look at the whole figure. Yeah, he's pretty much just all black. He's got the Imperial logo there on his sleeve, which is nicely done. And the rest of the joint work has just been drastically improved on this figure from the last release. So he's definitely cool. He comes with his blaster there, which fits inside his holster. I've still got it rubber banded around his hand, so I imagine that does fit nicely in his holster there. So apart from that, he's a reasonably cool figure. He has articulation, he has a ball jointed head, he has ball hinged shoulders and elbows, he has swivels at the gloves, he has a swivel waist, he has swivel hips, ball hinged knees and ball hinged ankles. So yeah, the paintwork's nice. As far as black goes, he's got the nice glossy paint finish on his boots, and more of a semi-gloss sort of throughout the rest of the body. So definitely a nice little Imperial commander of sorts. Thought a nice little addition would be the Imperial caps that some of the Imperials wear, much like the one that Juno Eclipse wears. Just sort of the standard sort of small cap with the silver dot in the middle. It would have been a cool little extra. Much like how the Rebel Trooper came with the cap, so you could mix them up a little bit. So I hope you're getting a reasonable look at this. It is hard to show because he is so dark, and the weather here is quite miserable at the moment. But and if I put too much light on it, it's too light. So I'll just put his helmet back on. I wish they'd given him a new helmet based on, or at least even a little bit more detail. So you have a look at that, and then if we look at the card back, he's got these very silver sort of like a headset underneath. I don't know how clearly you can see that, but he's got sort of a headset underneath and a little microphone. It would have been cool to add little details on that to a new helmet. But nonetheless, it's not too bad. I'm not going to complain too much. It does look nice, and it's cool to have another one of these guys to display. So, like I said, definitely recommend this guy if you can get him, because at the moment he is a miss him, and you've missed him for good. Like I've missed the AT Commander because he hasn't been released. So he hasn't been re-released. That's what I meant. So that is the Imperial Navy Commander. I hope you've enjoyed a quick look at that. It's not a lot else I can show you with it. He does look quite cool. Some nice minor details and creases. The sculpt works really nice. I hope my camera's picking it up okay. Yeah, he's pretty much just a standard sort of Death Star trooper. So I'll leave it at that for now. Like I said, I hope you've had a decent look. I hope I've done a reasonable job at reviewing this guy for you. Any comments below, any feedback below, and I'll be back very soon with some more reviews. So until then, may the Force be with you guys always.